Hi, I'm Scoot, and welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I want to welcome those of you who are new subscribers, and if you're not a subscriber, we invite you to subscribe. It's free, and we will give you a notice, a personal notice, every time we post something. So just become a subscriber. It's free, and again, we'll give you notice every time we post something. There was a carjacking here in New Orleans Monday afternoon, 1:30 in the afternoon, that not only shocked our city, but it kind of pointed a finger at elected officials who have contributed to this problem. Elected officials have greatly contributed to the crime wave we're having here in New Orleans. Now, we've got a shortage of police officers in New Orleans. That's true. Sad but true. But I've seen this damn city do what needs to be done to get things done, to get things it wants to get done. For example, during the COVID pandemic, at the very beginning, our mayor, New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell, she was angry, passionate, and vigilant about protecting the people of New Orleans. She has not been that way about protecting the people of New Orleans when it comes to crime. This has yet to really hit the city full blast in terms of tourism or big events like the Final Four coming up. But I think it's only a matter of time before that's going to happen, unless we address this issue. Yeah, there's a crime wave here. There's crime all over the country. There is a lawlessness in America. That's true. It's not just unique to New Orleans. But I find it really interesting that young thug punks, these young thug bastard punks, and I don't mean bastards in terms of out of wedlock children. I mean bastards in terms of they're bastards. Kind of like on South Park, they said, "You killed Kenny, you bastards." Yeah, bastards are bad people. So that's what I mean when I talk about these these young thug punk bastards. They're little pieces of shit. And so Monday afternoon at 1:30, got four teenagers just casually walking down the street. Surveillance video shows this. The next thing we know, they're carjacking a car with a 73-year-old grandmother in it. The guy who pulls her out, she somehow gets entangled in the seatbelt, and he takes off, drags her to her death. And the indignity that she faced was horrific. Her clothes were ripped off during the dragging. Her arm was detached from her body. Why? Because four punk bitches and bastards, one of them was a girl, four punk bitches and bastards decided to carjack a car. Do you know why they decided to carjack a car? Because they could. Because there's no fear that any shit's going to happen to them if it happens in New Orleans. The same teenagers, the same echelon of society in surrounding parishes, these kids don't commit the same crimes there as they do in New Orleans because they know they can get away with it in New Orleans. It's a complicated issue. It's not just Mayor Cantrell's fault, but she has been silenced. She's been silenced. She doesn't want to address the issue. The mayor doesn't want to address the issue, in all honesty, because it touches on her voting public. She can't run for re-election because this is her second term, but trust that Mayor Cantrell has bigger political ambitions. And the way she's handling crime in New Orleans needs to taint those ambitions unless she turns things around. Every once in a while, she gives us a little bullshit talk about, doing something. And the other day, she issued a statement. Was it a coincidence? I don't know. But after I bashed her on my radio show on WWL, all of a sudden, there were two statements that came out of City Hall that afternoon while I was still on the air. Coincidence? Maybe so. Maybe not. I don't know. But the video that she posted on her Facebook page was conciliatory. It spoke of the young people in our community that committed this crime or something to that effect. Where's the anger? Where's the passion? Gone. It wasn't there. She expressed sympathy and thoughts and prayers for the grandmother and the family. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because here's the problem. So many of these young thug punks are linked to people who are voters. Maybe not directly, but there are big families out there. There's cousins and there's nephews and there's nieces, and they're all linked. And these politicians are afraid. And I'm talking about the mayor, the district attorney, Jason Williams, and the judges that go easy on these bastards. They want to be reelected because that's all they give a shit about. They don't care about you. They care about getting elected or reelected. That's it. That's the bullshit of politics. What's good for us doesn't matter. What matters is getting elected. It's the fucking power. So judges go light on a lot of these young thug criminals because they're part of big families out there. They're related. In fact, kind of proving this is Jason Williams, the district attorney, dropped charges against the thug that pulled the grandmother out of the car and sped off. He was recently charged with aggravated battery assault, something to that effect. Basically the same kind of charge. The problem was the victim was one of his freaking relatives. So the victim decided not to press charges. Jason Williams, as DA, could have filed charges, but he didn't. He crawfished his coward ass out of it. And Jason Williams has political aspirations beyond being DA. If he ran for office today, I don't see how he would win. And it's time for those who voted for him, it's time for everybody in New Orleans to stand up and just denounce this bullshit. A crime is committed and you don't file charges because a relative doesn't want to file charges. That's bullshit. There are domestic violent cases where, the wife is beaten up by the husband, and the wife doesn't want to file charges. Too freaking bad. You beat up a wife. You beat up a woman. You beat up a person. We're charging you. She doesn't have to file charges. We're charging you. And you need to know this. And you need to know what's going on in New Orleans. It is an incestuous, toxic environment that breeds, in more ways than one, breeds criminal behavior. And the politicians do not have the courage to address the real issue. And the real issue is parenting. The real issue is babies having babies. Nobody says shit about it. There's some that have more babies. Look, this is not the Black community. This is some people within the community. But there are enough of them tainting the entire community. But I'm here to tell you this is not the Black community, and that skin color has nothing to do with criminal behavior. And there are so many great Black citizens that come out of New Orleans and come out of the public school system that you can't say it's because of the Black community. Don't be so short-sighted and don't be racist. Don't think that. Let's address the human behavior of this. And I talk about this on my radio show a lot. And it seems like we're starting to get the attention of city officials. But Jason Williams has got to speak out. He has got to address this issue that he let this kid go, and this kid went on to carjack a car and kill a 73-year-old grandmother. The kid's Black, the grandmother's white. Some people want it to be called a hate crime. By law, it's not a hate crime. Hate crimes are, by definition, crimes that are inspired by race, politics, sexual orientation, gender, religion, something like that. And it would be very difficult to prove that these thug bastards targeted this woman because she was white. They target the easiest prey. And sometimes it's blacks. And black citizens have been killed in New Orleans at the hands of young black thug punk bastards who carjack cars. So, as much as you want it to be a hate crime, it doesn't fit the definition of being a hate crime. But the real problem is the complacency shown by Mayor Cantrell and the complacency shown by the judges and also by DA Jason Williams. What is he going to say about this? He let the guy go, and the guy went on to kill a grandmother. We're waiting for some kind of comment here.